My son humiliated me at his wedding, but when the truth about my new husband came out, everything changed. I never thought I would experience humiliation at the hands of my own child, especially on the happiest day of his life. That life has a way of testing a mother's heart in ways she never expects. My name is Margaret, and I raised my son David alone, after losing my husband 22 years ago. David was everything to me, my pride, my joy, my purpose. I worked 3 jobs at one point just so he could have a good education. Every birthday, every graduation, every heartbreak, he always came to me first, or so I believed. Everything changed when he met Olivia. At first, she seemed sweet, polite, soft-spoken, respectful. I welcomed her into my home with open arms. I cooked her favorite meals, bought her small gifts, and tried to make her feel like she belonged in the family. I wanted David to be happy, and for a while, he truly seemed to be. Then I met Richard. I had never expected to fall in love at my age, but Richard was gentle, charming, and kind in ways I hadn't felt in decades. He listened to me, he made me laugh, he treated me like a woman who still mattered. After years of loneliness, Richard felt like sunlight after a long winter. But the moment David and Olivia found out I was dating someone, their behavior changed completely. David became distant. Olivia stopped calling me Mom and switched to Margaret. They whispered to each other when I entered the room. I ignored the signs. I kept praying everything would get better. When David proposed to Olivia, I was thrilled. I helped with the decorations, sent money for the venue, and even bought the wedding dress when Olivia's mother couldn't afford it. I thought we were close again, but on the day of the wedding, I discovered how wrong I was. The ceremony was beautiful everywhere. Soft music, white chairs glowing under the afternoon sun. I arrived with Richard beside me, holding my hand. It felt like a perfect moment. But the moment David saw us, his smile faded. Olivia's mother whispered something into his ear, and suddenly David's expression turned cold sharp like a knife. When it was time for the family pictures, the photographer called, "Mother of the groom, please come forward." I stepped toward David. He looked at me with annoyance and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Actually, could you stand on the side? We want only close family in this one." My heart dropped. People around us froze. Some looked away. Some whispered. Some gasped. I felt my cheeks burn as humiliation washed over me. I forced a smile and stepped aside. Richard tried to comfort me, but his touch only made the moment feel heavier. It didn't stop there. During the reception, David made a speech. He thanked everyone, his friends, his co-workers, Olivia's family, even the wedding planner. But he didn't mention me, not a single word. Then Olivia stood up to speak and joked, "Some people just don't know when to stop trying to be the center of attention." And she looked straight at me. The room laughed. My eyes filled with tears. I excused myself and went outside. Richard followed, furious. "How dare they treat you like this?" he said. I shook my head. It's his wedding. I don't want to cause a scene. But something inside me broke that day. After the wedding, David stopped visiting. Olivia blocked my number. A week later, David called and said something I never imagined hearing. "Mom, Olivia and I don't feel comfortable with Richard. We think he's after your money. And honestly, you should just stay away for a while. Let us live our life." I felt like he had stabbed me. Richard overheard everything. He didn't get angry. He just held my hand and said, "Give it time. You will see the truth." But I didn't know then which truth he meant, because Richard had a secret that would shatter everything. 3 months passed. I didn't hear from David at all, not even on my birthday. But one morning, I received an unexpected call from Olivia's mother. She sounded frantic. "Margaret, please come to the hospital." I arrived and found David sitting in a chair, pale, trembling. He had discovered that Olivier had been cheating on him with one of his closest friends 4 months before the wedding. Everything David had done to me, he was facing 10 times worse. He looked up at me, eyes red, and whispered, "Mom, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I treated you that way. I was stupid. I was blind." I hugged him as tightly as I could, tears streaming down my face. "I'm your mother," I said. "You will always find me beside you, no matter how far you go." Richard entered the room quietly. David stood up instantly. "Mom, I was wrong about him. I know that now." Richard smiled softly. "Son, I never blamed you. But then something happened that no one expected. That the doctor walked in and said, Mr. Richard, we have your test results. David and I looked at him confused. Richard sighed and took my hand. I didn't want to tell you yet, but I've been sick, very sick. My heart stopped. Stage 3, the doctor said gently. We need to start treatment immediately. I couldn't breathe. My chest tightened. My world crashed. Richard kissed my forehead and whispered, I didn't want to be a burden. I wanted you to enjoy your life. That's why I stayed silent. David broke down. All his anger dissolved. All his misunderstandings vanished. He hugged Richard and cried, I'm sorry. I misjudged you. Richard smiled warmly. We all misjudge sometimes. What matters is what we do afterward. From that day on, David changed. He visited me every day. He cooked for us. He drove Richard to treatments. He apologized again and again, not with words, but with actions. One evening, David sat beside me and said, Mom, the way I treated you at my wedding, I can't forgive myself for that. I wiped his tears. You're my son. I forgave you the moment it happened. Months passed. Richard's condition improved, and David, broken, humbled, wiser, became closer to me than ever before. As for Olivier, she tried to come back. She begged David for forgiveness. She cried, apologized, even threatened him. He didn't even open the door. Life has a strange way of revealing the truth. Sometimes, those who humiliate you end up learning the harshest lessons, and those who are judged unfairly turn out to be the ones with the purest hearts. Today, I sit on my porch with Richard, holding his hand, grateful for the love I found and the family I healed. And David, he never makes a decision without calling me first, because he now knows a mother's heart can break, but it can also forgive in a way no one else ever can.